I ask my higher self to be fully present with me in this very moment, to reside deeply within my being, and to profoundly help and guide me to express through my carefully chosen words whatever essential wisdom and necessary insights are truly meant to be shared with others. I ask my higher self to bring awareness, light, and love to all of your hearts, to all of your lives, to every single person here who hears my voice speaking to you now at this very moment. I ask my higher self to truly light the radiant flame of hope and inspiration within your cherished homes. Oh God, amen. Thank you. God, I am grateful. Greetings and peace to all my dear sisters and brothers. I hope you are at peace, that you are happy, that you have a smile on your lips, and that your life is full of blessings and abundance. I will be traveling for approximately a full month, so I am diligently recording 1 or 2 videos in advance, ensuring that we don't fall behind schedule and, most importantly, so I don't disappoint you. For those who have been with me from before and have watched the previous videos, I hope you are still committed to your promise, and together we are going to celebrate a new birth on March 21st. Just as the year changes and spring arrives, you and I are also going to become new people in our own way. We do not have to become all-powerful at first, but we should be different from who we were in the past, a person who uses their own abilities. And for those who are new to our channel, welcome. Congratulations on joining us. Please watch the previous videos, and if you like, join our family, which is and will be full of love, light, and awareness. Please join us, become a member, and I hope that we can see each other at least once a week, if not more often, so we won't break our commitment. We'll be together every day, working on becoming better versions of ourselves. We take action, and even if we fall down once or twice, it doesn't matter. We get back up and start again from the beginning. But every day we try to be better than we were yesterday. We won't compete with anyone else. Rather, I am my own competitor. I want to be a better person than my past self, better than who I was last year. When our spirit soars and our guides come, after they welcome us, the people we love, our family and everyone, will all go, and we'll have a meeting with our own guides. Their spiritual color and aura may be different. Now we might be white, golden, brown, blue, orange. There are many different colors. But most people who are currently residing on Earth are predominantly white, and then various particles are gradually added to that initial white color until we eventually move on to other dimensions of existence. Anyway, when our spiritual guide thoughtfully asks us, "What exactly did you manage to bring back for me from this incredible journey you so bravely undertook?" And I, suddenly and with embarrassment, now that it's clear my real home is there, and this was just a short trip here, I have to admit that I broke many hearts. I had a lot of regrets too. They don't ask me how many homes I left behind, or how much money I had in the bank when I came, or how many people I deceived. What they ask me is, and what I truly carry in this very backpack of mine is this precisely. I genuinely don't know what particular spirit or specific spirituality it truly is, but what exactly have I left of my own self behind on this vast earth? What kind of reflection of my true self, what kind of illuminating light have I truly spread and shared with the world? How much have I truly contributed to the significant growth of this beautiful earth? Even if it's just a tiny seed carefully planted in the fertile soil, or perhaps making a small child genuinely happy with a simple act of kindness. And it's really embarrassing because, first of all, we have to come back and experience this same life again, since there's no way to escape it. You have to go through it if you don't learn. But how beautiful it is that I can say that in that prison of the body, because it's really quite hard in this prison we're in this physical body, in this dimension we're in, which is the hardest and the most basic, truly. How much awareness have I gained? What have I done for myself? How much was I separated from my soul, and how much did I connect to my soul? When we want to work on our own candle, inner self, unless we cleanse ourselves, we won't get there. And when I truly start the process of cleansing, it's truly like a flowing river. I genuinely feel like I've reached a profound state of peace and clarity. It was a narrow river that led me to a vast lake, to an ocean. I reached the source of life. And then, quite gradually, my inner Kundalini energy truly starts to gently spin. And then I move forward with the insistence of the universe. And then I touch God. In these lives that we have built for ourselves, where I'm caught up trying to earn my daily bread, or thinking about deceiving someone just to make some money to bring home for the family, or I'm preoccupied with the fact that someone got a nose job, so I want to get my nose done too, or someone bought a certain pair of shoes, so I want to buy those shoes as well. These are the traps of life. It's like being trapped in the matrix, being enslaved by material life. It means I've completely forgotten why I'm on this journey. It's as if a loved one went on a trip and was supposed to bring you a souvenir. But not only did they not bring anything back, they even brought you an illness and their problems. On top of that, you have to send them money because they spent too much while they were there. We need to clarify our intentions with ourselves. Do I want to live this life? A purely material life, a truly foolish life, a deeply fearful life that is very much like a bottomless well. No matter how diligently you try to fill it, it will never, ever be truly full. When we become attached to material life and stay trapped in this world, inside this box, inside the matrix, there is absolutely no hope at all that one day we will truly achieve lasting happiness and prosperity. This well will, in fact, never be completely filled. But when I reach the resources within myself, inside myself, then gaining access to the material things of the world becomes very easy. even though I no longer really desire them as much. But it is very easy. The profound happiness that truly comes from deep within has absolutely nothing to do with the exact amount of money in my personal bank account. It has nothing to do with my house, my car, or my status, how much people flatter me and show me respect. Because really, this kind of respect, where you don't respect someone because they don't have a degree, and you show extra respect to someone just because they do, this is fundamentally flawed from the root. We should show respect to every human being because all of us, before coming to this world, before starting this journey to planet Earth, sat down with our own souls and talked about what things we wanted to learn. And then we should truly and genuinely start by giving this profound love to ourselves first and foremost, and then extend it generously to others. Let's be aware of this breath. Let's be mindful of the food we eat and be grateful for it. Let's be truly happy for waking up today and truly realizing that I can freely move my hands and my feet. And then suddenly we notice that some changes are happening in our body. Suddenly I feel that I'm better today and I don't need medicine anymore. And gradually I cut chemical substances out of my life. These are the things that connect us, Mother. That pharmacist didn't become a pharmacist for no reason. They need patience. If we learn this formula and pay attention to it, that the pharmacist doesn't want my healing, the pharmacist needs patience. Gradually, not only do I stop taking medicine altogether, I even start to dislike the smell of chemicals. This is also a sign of awareness. These are signs that I am on the path to awareness. At the gatherings I attend, when I see that some people are just talking nonsense, and most of it is flattery, sycophancy, or gossip, quietly, without saying goodbye, I slip away. I leave. I walk out of that gathering. And for whatever reason, whether it's with family or anyone else, little by little, I stop accepting those invitations. And I prefer to go out with just one or two people, or even by myself. Like that villager who sits in his village, has nothing to do with the city, nothing to do with the news, right? He has nothing to do with traffic either. He has nothing to do with all these bureaucratic tasks either. He sits by himself, talks to his tree, talks to his land, talks to his sheep, and we make fun of them. We say they're villagers and they don't understand anything. But maybe we should imitate them because they don't have any of the illnesses we have in the city. They definitely know something that we perhaps don't. They don't have cancer societies and all these cancer-related things. Where does cancer even come from? Cancer comes from a bunch of worries that I keep inside me. All diseases come from stress. What am I stressed about? If I really think about it, what am I stressed about? That others have won and I have lost. What is it that others have won that I have lost? Let's change the meaning of being successful. These are the very things that the exploiters have given us, and they've truly built our entire lifestyle on pervasive lies, based on their own manipulated data, based on a truly worthless piece of paper they simply call money. we're effectively wasting our precious lives for it. I'm not saying we don't need money. We live in a material world. We need money. But where does my money come from? And at what cost? Anyway, gradually, as we truly start to cleanse ourselves, and as I've always consistently said, this profound cleansing doesn't genuinely come from prayers, hypnosis, Reiki, or these kinds of things, or the various classes they hold. What do they say? They question our happiness, and we allow them to do this to us. Cleansing comes from within myself, because no one knows the truth about me better than I do. I know very well what is going on inside me, and when I don't love myself, and gradually when we let go of this and start to feel that when I wake up in the morning, I no longer have those negative thoughts. I don't have that stress anymore. Now, I truly feel quite hopeful about my life. I am genuinely happy being with myself. I am not actively looking for something to necessarily fill my loneliness. And that's precisely when we are just beginning to sprout, much like a tiny seed. We are truly experiencing a profound rebirth. And this momentous birth clearly shows that this precious newborn infant will very soon become an incredibly powerful and influential human being, destined for greatness. Is this truly powerful human being, whom we have heard so much about, really the very same as us, these weak, miserable, and often struggling people? Every piece of news we hear makes us upset. We have 1,000 kinds of illnesses. We're always complaining, always angry, always fighting with each other, always competing, always analyzing each other, telling one another to go and argue with that person. The powerful human being emerges from me, from a pure seed. And we're here together to say, that from today, let's plant this pure seed because it will give us a tree whose fruit even our grandchildren will eat. Not just our grandchildren, but even their grandchildren. After cleansing, we might actually start to feel some rather strange and noticeable changes within our bodies. And it's different for everyone. Some individuals, what is very commonly observed, and I am specifically referring to those whom I genuinely trust, not those deceptive charlatans found on platforms like YouTube, many of whom are indeed fabricating stories, but rather those whose Kundalini energy has truly been awakened and activated, particularly after a thorough and complete cleansing process. They often experience a severe and intense pain in their lower back region, specifically at the very base of the spinal column. And before I even talk about these things, I want to discuss this first because it's possible that one of you might experience this next week, or maybe in 6 months, or maybe not at all until 6 months from now. But then it could happen a year from now. This isn't a competition. You should look at it like a tree. When you plant 1,000 trees, no tree competes with another. Each one grows as much greenery, bears as much fruit, and grows as tall as it can. Some stay at the same height because that's just their nature. There's no competition here, and there's no rush either because those who try to take shortcuts with drugs are just taking the short road. They're like kids who cheated, and then later, when they reach crossroads or even more complicated intersections, they want to find their way. You simply cannot watch a movie until you are truly ready for it. And if you see it through drugs, you haven't actually attended those classes yet. Your body hasn't gradually adapted. We have to go through this process with our bodies. And whenever the body is ready, these activities will begin. So there's no rush, no competition, and no shortcut. We just let things happen naturally. If it rains, it rains. If the sun comes out, the sun comes out. We let it be and let our body's own order bring us to this point. In cases where this suddenly happens, some people have experienced dying, and this process takes place. When they come back to life, what do they call it? Near-death experience. When they die for, say, 20 minutes, 2 hours, 2 days, and then come back to life, these people, most of them, after experiencing such profound events, return to their lives with a newfound and deeper awareness. Some people, through intense suffering, it could be an accident, it could be a shock, it could be the death of a loved one. It might be a strange event that happened in their life, or even a conversation. For example, Rumi, I don't know, maybe 40 days or so, sat in solitude with Shams. Then gradually, he was completely cleansed of all the old, deeply ingrained religious beliefs he had held, and when he finally reached a state of profound purity, his heart center was miraculously activated and rose so incredibly high, because he had been blessed with such an extraordinary and truly exceptional teacher, that he soared to another spiritual realm, flying freely and witnessing the eternal truths. And even if 1,000 long years were to pass, the profound and timeless words of our dear Rumi will always remain wonderfully fresh and vibrant, because truth itself is always inherently fresh. Truth is something that, precisely because it is not a lie, never ever changes. It takes us time to reach those words. And let it be said that Rumi himself had a very pure soul when he came into this world. Of course, his rank is extremely high in spiritual realms, at any rate, for some people. Some people, in extreme cases, even lose consciousness for a few moments, either from the pain or from vomiting, feeling nauseous, or even experiencing the sensation of seeing death right before their eyes. And when this intense pain ends, the Kundalini begins to activate. Another point is that this process happens gradually over time. There are also times when we might indeed go somewhere quite alone for a week or even 2, to a truly deserted and isolated place, and simply sit there. And then suddenly, with all the significant signs we carefully observe, this profound process slowly starts to genuinely unfold. In my own personal case, for many years, it was quite strange to me that I truly didn't feel any significant pain at all. My entire experience was distinctly different. And the reason I'm sharing this experience is just to help you, not to say that I'm someone special. There are millions of people like me who have had the same experience. Of course, all of us together can't share our experiences with 8 billion people around the world, but I'm sure there are many people like me out there. whose chakras have opened or who see certain things. My belief is that all of us, when we are born up until the age of 7, we are all aware. All children are aware. All children remember. These friends, for example, whom we make fun of when they play with their dolls, like a girl, and we say she has an imaginary friend. These are all real. But we adults, because of the way our brains have been changed, consider these things ridiculous. And later, we're even ashamed to tell others that, for example, my child talks like this. Up to the age of 7, all these cells are alive, fresh, and have memory. After the age of 7, because we go to school, because our parents teach us that we have to be polite, that we have to do certain things, that we should greet even those we don't like, flatter people, and tell other lies like that. The phone rings, my mother tells me to say she's not home, and then she tells me not to lie, and I see all these contradictions throughout the day. I go somewhere to buy groceries and see someone lying, saying they bought it from here, just so they can keep their business going and sell more. And all this information, like a sponge, the child absorbs it all, takes it all in. At school, standing in front of the principal, they're forced to lie. And little by little, we collect all of this inside ourselves. And when we reach the age of 3, 4, or 5, all of this might have disappeared from my memory. But in the Akashic record, that is me. And it gives commands to my brain, and my brain controls my life, and I have fears for no apparent reason. For no apparent reason, I have strange personality traits that bother me. For no reason, I feel competitive. For no reason, I want to pick a fight with someone. All this data that we've given to our brain is incorrect. It causes us to get excited. My mother was angry. Maybe she had an argument with her husband that day or had some problem. I went to take some chocolate. She hit my hand. And in my brain, at the age of 7, I recorded that if you eat chocolate, your mom will hit you, meaning it's a sin. Then there's school, then there's religion, then there's society, and this isn't just about one country. It's everywhere. The feeling that I am not safe. The earth belongs to us. It belongs to our Father. God is our Father. A bunch of savages came and took the earth, shipped and delivered directly from us. Water is for everyone. Electricity is for everyone. Nature is for everyone. The earth is for everyone. And our only safeguard is this umbilical cord that I have attached to my head. We have no fear or insecurity at all. Rather, it is our enemies, who are not even human, who have brought these things upon us. And all these pressures, all this false information in our lives cause me, as a human being, to first lose my power. A weak, fearful, and sick person. That's what I've made myself into by accepting this narrative, that I must study until I'm 30, then work after 30, and after 60 I must grow old, get sick, and die. Is this why we came here? When I look back at my path, will I say that this is all I did? I studied, then I got married, then I became a parent, then I worked, and now that I'm divorced, everyone gets divorced because from the beginning the marriage was a mistake, with someone we didn't even know. Even I didn't know myself, who I was. And those who have stayed together, it's not clear whether they actually want to stay together or not, or if they're just staying because of social contracts. And then I got sick, people. This is what I brought back from my journey to Earth. And from today, we decide not to live like this anymore. We want to go see places we haven't seen, do things we haven't done, do things we were afraid of, and return to my experience. I was very lucky. Well, I don't really believe in luck, so I'll say I was fortunate to be born into a family that, until I was 7 years old, was full of love. And I think that laid a strong foundation for me. My father supported me a lot. My father understood me, even when others would say, "What is this child talking about?" Because I used to talk about other worlds. My father would say, "Let's listen to her." And because there was a big age gap between me and my siblings, the love I received from them, they treated me like their doll. The love I got from that lady who raised all of us, the love from my grandmother, aunt, and Amine. We all grew up in a good environment. Personally, I was raised with a lot of love until I was 7 years old. And after I turned 7, I'm talking about the very first time. Whatever each of you has experienced in your lives, as the Americans say, you name it, I had it, you name it. Whatever you can think of. Any kind of misfortune you can mention, where even just one or two would be enough for any person to break down, happened in my life. I had a very tough life. But that foundation I built at age 7 truly kept me very strong and resilient. It was indeed a solid base, always there for me. Every time I fell down, I got back up. And I wanted to become even stronger. My significant failures, the truly terrible and unfortunate events that have happened in my life, it made me stronger. And a kind of optimism, a kind of love for people exists within me. It has always been there. That has truly made me. I'm deeply analyzing myself for the very first time. And perhaps this introspection might genuinely be able to help you, because quite honestly, I truly do not know what your personal life is actually like. And believe me, truly, this is the very first time I'm really, truly analyzing myself in such a profound way like this. I feel like, I haven't held on to things. Forgiveness was within me. When I was a young child attending school, our particular school was co-educational, meaning there were 15 boys and only 5 girls in total. And the teachers, who at the time we genuinely thought were incredibly old, but in reality they were actually like 25 years of age. But we truly thought, wow, the teacher is so incredibly old. They were quite abusive. They liked to touch the little girls and did many other inappropriate things. And I would carefully look at their expressive faces. And I didn't feel any hatred toward them at all. I would look into their eyes and see how much misery they must have gone through to be able to do something like that. And right then and there I would forgive them. But I would consciously distance myself from them, and I truly did my very best to make absolutely sure that I didn't do the exact same thing to other people. I watched out for the younger kids in the lower grades. In a significant way, I truly tried to protect them, but I still completely forgave all the others involved. The things that happened to me, believe it or not, it's hard to imagine that something so big could happen, that you could witness such a betrayal, and then, in that very moment, meaning you could take someone's life away from them and yet forgive them right then and there. The longest I can ever hold on to. Hold on to anger inside myself is about 5 minutes. Immediately after I forgive that person. And I think this comes from that same love, that unconditional love I received since childhood. And now we absolutely have to practice these very important things I'm talking about so that I can truly come to the profound conclusion that my Kundalini had not accumulated for this specific reason. Because this intense pain, I genuinely think, and this is entirely my personal opinion, this excruciating pain that some people deeply feel, where they feel like they are literally dying or they completely faint, is actually because of persistently holding on to old memories and not truly forgiving at all. Revenge, unfulfilled wishes, failures in life, feeling inadequate. I saw myself as less. At some point, I saw myself as guilty, when in reality, nothing is a sin. Nothing is a sin. It's religion that has made us feel guilty. Nothing is a sin. When you act with a heightened sense of awareness, you will no longer want to intentionally hurt other people. But if you did something that was against society, that's not a sin either. When we come to terms with these things within ourselves, and I didn't have that acceptance. As a result, I think that ever since I was 7 years old, this was open, this was active, and it's interesting when I mention the name of this Kundalini serpent, what does it remind you of? Does it remind you of Adam and Eve? Where an apple tree catches our eye, and from this tree a serpent coils its way up, or in religious paintings. And they said you can do anything, but you must not eat from this tree, from this apple. Now, we have truly realized that all of religion in its entirety is fundamentally made up of various taboos and prohibitions. These are all entirely made up by powerful beings who truly think they are our absolute gods. They genuinely believe they created us and that we are merely their workers. And in order to keep us in perpetual misery and feed off our vital energy, what exactly do they have to do? They scare us with the specter of war, with widespread misery, with pervasive unemployment, with abject poverty, by constantly making us worry, by deliberately turning us against each other, by truly showing us strange, fascinating, and unique cinematic lifestyles. And I, who don't have it, end up envying it. This is precisely how they slowly drain our vital energy. And if we become truly aware of these profound things, we absolutely won't let anyone ever take our precious energy anymore. If someone genuinely tries to drain my vital energy, I will quickly and decisively shut them down. There are literally thousands of television channels available to us. When you happen to watch a particular channel and suddenly realize it's deliberately lying to you, or you clearly see that it's constantly giving you news that deeply upsets you, just simply switch to another, more positive channel. Perhaps put on some uplifting music and joyfully dance around. Don't ever let it take your valuable energy. Before we can truly create anything meaningful, we first and foremost need to diligently store and carefully keep our very own personal energy. If you haven't yet seen my very important video about Parami, please do watch it. I think it was either last year or perhaps the year before that. It's readily available right here. Don't ever give your precious parami to anyone else. Your parami is exclusively yours. Don't ever let others use it for their own purposes. The rest of it, all the politics and all the religion, it's all just a collection of elaborate lies. They make us feel guilty, so that I feel truly sad about what I do not possess, so that I, as a diligent worker, am compelled to act in strict accordance with their established rules. All the fundamental laws of our entire society are meticulously set by the powerful exploiters. Someone sent me a beautiful poem. I'm not really good at reciting poetry, but I wanted to share this with you. Life is truly the beautiful music of sparrows. Life is also the peaceful rest watching God. Life is truly these very beautiful flights, the warm smiles in the bright mornings, and the joyful songs that fill our hearts. Life is merely a tiny speck of straw that we have painstakingly turned into a towering mountain, that we have subsequently made into a sharp and painful thorn. Life is truly nothing but the gentle, refreshing spring rain. Life is truly nothing but seeing a cherished loved one. Life is truly nothing but profound love, nothing but speaking kindly and thoughtfully to someone. Otherwise, every single thorn and every tiny straw has truly lived much. Indeed, life has many, many bitter experiences, a couple of winding alleys and narrow side streets, and as much as an entire lifetime of desolate desert. What exactly have we done, and what precisely will we do in this incredibly short span of time? Please be silent for a full 5 minutes, and in this reflective video, take the time to consider what things you are afraid of. Remember, you are under your loving Father's protection and within your mother's home. And in the sky, we truly have a loving Father who watches over each and every one of us with unwavering care and profound affection. Put all your fears completely aside and confidently say, I can indeed be a truly powerful and influential person. Until the next video, I wholeheartedly entrust you all to my great and magnificent God, to our benevolent and eternal Father. Be happy always. I love you very much.